we'll start by the basic, which is return on investment and accountability. So in terms of return for investment, you have to show a measurable impact. Sponsors wants to know if they invest, how can I see this? So if you're able to explain whatever you're working on with the data, with any visualization tool that you have, it becomes easy for you to reach out to those fundings and the sponsorship that we have. However, interpretation and in the use of that data is where the challenge lies. Sports is very competitive, and that means that for you to gain that competitive edge and to remain relevant, you have access to data, collect the data, and use it to gain that competitive spirit.
Indeed, it's another great moment and a chance to get to develop sports and have conversations centered around championing sports development here at Wima Sports, courtesy of Osoita Lodge, indeed, where guests become family. Speaking of guests, we have an amazing guest with us today, and he's going to chime and tell us more about data and data analytics as well. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Kelvin Koros. Karibu sana, bro.
Thank you. Asante sana.
Maybe Koros, just to start us off, tell us more about your expertise in data analysis.
So my name is Kelvin Koros or Kilel. My data analytics journey started when I was still in campus, and I've been able to that space. It's almost now 5 years working in the space of data analytics, and mostly I've been working in the corporate side as a data analyst and as an operations analyst. Yeah.
Amazing. And the viewers might not know, but I know that you are also a sporty person and a lover of sports. Maybe tell us more about your sporting life.
Yeah, so my journey in sports started back in high school. I really wanted to play rugby. However, the school that I went to in high school, we did not have rugby. So I migrated to basketball, which I've been playing basketball since I think I was in form 2. And then all through Africa Nazarene, then through to Stanbic, and now due to work now I just play for fun and working through organizations, volunteering with organizations just to incorporate the analytics part with sports.
And sports is quickly developing in Africa, and a lot is changing. And we cannot speak development in sports without talking data and data analysis, data analytics. If you can start by merging the two for us.
Delicate balance. However, both sports and other contexts of life requires tracking of performance and strategy, which means that you have to look at data and other key data collection points just to understand to meet the various KPIs and so to track other metrics and to create strategies that give you a competitive edge. And that's where data comes in sports. Sports is very competitive, and that means that for you to gain that competitive edge and to remain relevant, you'll have to have access to data, collect the data, and use it to gain that competitive spirit.
Speaking of competitive spirit, athlete performance, team strategies are slowly changing in Africa sports. We look at basketball, we look at rugby, we look at athletics as well. How can data improve this athlete performance in the context of Africa?
So in terms of the context of Africa, we can start by analyzing the performance. So our first look at will be now understanding the growth in terms of how can we improve performance in terms of winning, in terms of monitoring athlete performance, movements, and that will involve a lot of breakdown in terms of the game footage or sports footage to identify strengths, weaknesses, and patterns or tendencies that are common. We also have injury preventions and recovery, which I know Germaine, you're championing that through Wima Sports.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that also we are lagging behind in terms of looking at that, mostly here in Africa. We are using a lot of guesswork in terms of subjective opinions just to make, in terms of injury preventions and recovery. We also have tactical and strategic insights. It's still growing, but I still think that for us to complete on a world platform, we'll need to improve on this. And yeah, we still have a journey that we need to work on this just to get there. Yeah, I think those are places that we need to be starting from.
Yeah, and can you share a case where data really helped transform outcomes, either in your sports journey or in your corporate experience, where that little data or that big data was a complete transformation for an outcome?
Okay, I think that's basically what I do every day. So
Yeah,
let's just pick my recent one. So there's one recent one that I was working on, which was creating matching. It was a matching, just automate the matching platform for a game called Paddle. So I'm working with my boss who wanted the previous years they have been manually selecting teams every week for a pardon. So it's four courts. So that means that they're playing two. That means they have to pick 8 players every week. And the other metric that you have to PTIs to track performance and everything. And it was becoming tiresome. And I went ahead and created an automation for that. And you can be able to automate it, and it gives you, based on the availability of the players, you can be able to have it create an automation, a matchup for 4 weeks, so that
yeah.
we can be able to share with the team. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That sounds amazing. What was the end result like?
Uh, so the outcome was that we now have a simplified tournament logistics. We have already reduced the manual scheduling errors. Sometimes having that manual creation, sometimes you have to reach out and call. But now you just share it on Monday, maybe for the whole month, and they pick. It's a program that gives you pick availability, and then now from that it will run a code on the back end, and now it will share that via email and have it on the calendars for the respective players. So that visibility is always open, and that guesswork or coordination process is reduced.
Yeah, and as we move forward, sponsorship, funding, go hand in hand with data and analysis. How can
Yeah.
sports federations, teams, within Kenya and Africa and beyond get to improve, um, uh, how use data to improve chances for funding and all this? Maybe if you can bring it to the context of Kenya.
So all sponsorship and funding will start by the basic, which is return on investment and accountability. So in terms of return for investment, you have to show a measurable impact. Sponsors wants to know if they invest, how can I see this? Do we have athlete growth metrics, for instance, into you're running an academy? What is your reach in engagement? Right now, we're in the world of social media. Can you show us maybe your interactions, event attendance, any other thing, achievements that you have? And then after that, now they bring that money. Now, can you show us now how we'll be able to return, or have that ROI? And that will now comes in terms of website traffic, your fans, websites, and something like that. Then after that, then now maybe we can have now the targeted sponsorships proposal,
Yeah.
and instead of just reaching out to everyone, you know how that targeted. If you are running an academy for young kids, you'll have that target of sponsorship to your target audience. If you're having maybe senior people, depending if it's a corporate, then it becomes easier to have that target proposal prepared. And then also with that, also you're able to prove that the organization is mature, and that now will bring in now having those financial dashboards and any other reports that the sponsorship might need or the funding that you're looking into might need. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then lastly, also, you have testimonials based on data. Those testimonials now give you like that with authenticity that whatever you're running is legit.
Yeah, indeed, that goes a long way. Visualization is something that is used by athletes in the field. We look at, the top athletes elite athletes use visualizations, but also visualization is used in corporate boardrooms, be it sports, be it business, but in regards to visualization, projection towards data, right? How has data visualization, improved decision making, specifically in sports organizations so far? Yeah, this can relate globally, but we can mirror it with Africa as well.
Okay. So you see, visualization is everything, and visualization will involve the data storytelling. So if you're able to explain whatever you're working on with the data, with the data, with any visualization tool that you have, it becomes easy for you to reach out to those fundings and the sponsorship that we have. It also becomes easy for players to see their performance. So once we have those, it becomes very easy. And something that we do not have here in Kenya that I feel is affecting our Kenyan context in terms of sports and mostly basketball is we do not have a centralized database or system that players can be able to look into, coaches, any other the scouts can be able to go and maybe see performance of our players. For us, we just have data silos. So each team have their own data, and it's something that
Yeah, indeed. It's something that is sometimes even hard to access uh, to help pivot the team forward as well, And
yeah.
sometimes we talk of data, we talk of all these jargons. How is all this applicable kwa ile timu ya mtaa pale grassroots? How can they apply data in their day to day, be it a team in CL, be it a team in football ya mtaa pale chini? How can they apply data?
Yeah. So I think data can be collected at all levels, even in the grassroots. And I know data sounds complicated, it sounds expensive, but you can just start with the basic that we have. The use of Excel just to collect some slight data based on whatever we have, the offline compatible apps that we have in Kenya that we have to use. The same way, more teams in Kenya, mostly in terms of basketball right now, are coming up and using the FIBA ones that we have. Yeah, and then those ones now will move now to empower coaches and the academies in creating very simple dashboards, and coaches can use that now to understand the players, the performance, and now apply that. And then from there, we now start creating those centralized data systems that we have, and those can be accessed by the players themselves and see how they are doing and they are performing, where they need to grow, their weaknesses, their patterns as well, and the coaches can use that. Yeah.
It's amazing. Giving moving forward now, these young professionals, data analysis is growing in corporate, but not in corporate sports, not so much. How can we? What can you tell the sporting, stakeholders to embrace this more and more for greater development of sports?
So I think Africa is still growing. We still have a lot of potential right now. And I love the way we are moving into this more spaces in terms of sports. It's an industry that is still growing in terms of also finances, and a lot of people are coming in to invest. So let's just have that open forum for everyone to come in and invest. Whatever they bring into it, the players, the investors, the coaches, everyone just have that an open mindset so that we can able to have this sport grow in Africa. Data will push us forward. It sounds like it's a bit expensive, but we have a lot of data, people who are facing a challenge in breaking into that space. And I wish that they could find more openings in terms of them in investing the data and how we can be able to have our unique African experiences analyzed and used for competitive edge. And I see that a lot of athletes here in Kenya are using data, and you can be able to see that how their performance is better in terms of sports here in Kenya, and it's growing. So I believe that if the other sports and other African federations and investors simulate or incorporate data into their day-to-day performance in sports, we are going to see some good results, and we are going to compete in world levels.
How huge is data? How huge is data if you try and imagine?
It's a very good question. Data is very huge. We have a lot of data points that can be collected. However, interpretation and in the use of that data is where the challenge lies. How to interpret that data and how to use it to steer us forward, to create strategies and tacticals, and to gain that competitive advantage is where the challenge is.
Yeah. And indeed, we are offering solutions here at Wima Sports, courtesy of Wima Sports and Kelvin Koros here. And tuone nyuma ya tent tukupea solution ya hizo mambo. how, how how can people contact you, brother?
So my email, I have an email, kelvinkklel@gmail. My number is 0724151729. I'm on Instagram as Kelvin Kilel or Data Guy. Yeah, I think those are my main platforms. And on LinkedIn as Kelvin Kilel.
Indeed, we'll have it all on the description as well, and I'm sure during production we'll be able to put it on the screen down there rolling. The final question, but last but not least, I know you're preparing for a master's in analytics at the University of Exeter. What do you hope to explore further in sports through that program?
So I'm looking forward to improving my knowledge in terms of machine learning and predictive analytics. And I'm looking to meet like-minded people in the global platform who are working in the sports industry. And then I'm looking now to come back and now reinvest that knowledge that I gain and build some scalable applications and platforms where we're going to be improving the sports in Africa.
Definitely excited and looking forward to such moments. And you've been doing a great job in data analysis and data analytics profession. But moving on to the quick fire segment section, Power BI, or I don't know how to pronounce this. Pardon me if I spoil it. Power BI or W, is it W or how do you say it?
Yeah, Tableau.
Tableau. So
Yeah.
which one?
Wow, that's a tough question. In terms of sports, I would
Yes,
say
yes.
Tableau.
Uh-huh.
Tableau has some great features. However, a lot of in terms of corporate, I'll go with Power BI because a
Okay.
lot of corporates are using Microsoft products, and it becomes very easy to incorporate the other products with the Power BI. But in terms of features and uh, just that having those awesome dashboards, Tableau gives you that.
Amazing. Favorite basketball stat to analyze?
Hmm I'll say, I think player movements and strategies that teams are using. Mm.
Player movement and strategy is nice one. One African athlete you'd love to analyze data for.
I'm open to working with anyone and any team that is willing to work with me.
Yes.
However, if I'm supposed to pick one person, I think, and I know you won't believe this, but that will be Faith Kipyegon.
I knew. I had it at the back of my mind.
Yeah.
She's an
So
amazing athlete for sure.
yeah, yeah, she's breaking a lot of records. And
Yeah.
looking at her journey, she went and into maternity leave, and then she came back, and she's still winning. That's some crazy mindset and power behind her.
Yeah, yeah, and I was so sure she was going to break for the breaking for running 1 mile in 4 minutes. I knew she was going to break it. On her third lap, I was like,
Yeah,
nah, she's doing it. I don't know what happened. Maybe she slowed herself down a little bit or something happened. I don't know.
yeah,
But I'm sure she'll beat it next time. 4:06 is the time to beat.
yeah. The next time, I'm very sure as well that she's going to do to win it and break it. And that's again, that's data. That means that whoever they're working with has a very good data system, and how they're interpreting that is awesome.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Um, Onto the fun segment section. We usually have a fun segment that we finish with. If you could build a dream basketball team with African legends, who's your starting five?
African legends.
Yes. Ta-
Uh, okay. So let's go with five. Which is center. That will be Hakim Olajuwon,
mhm.
and then the power forward, which is four, will be Dikembe. Yeah, I'll go with Dikembe.
Mhm.
For small forward, I'll go with Lol Deng.
Nice one.
For the shooting guard, I'm not sure I'll go with. Still, I'll leave that open. But if I was to go with someone current, I'll go with Tyler Ongwae.
Elongwai.
And then for for the point guard, there's a guy called Brian Uzo. I think he was a Nigerian, very good
Nigerian.
point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing starting five there. That's pure good challenge, for you to be able to fill all those five. Very few people can do that.
yeah, yeah.
And that shows how you're a great Pan-Africanist, being able to know all these African athletes. What's your go-to song before an intense coding session?
Oh, wow. That basically, I do not have a single song.
Hmm.
However, I listen to a lot of Afrobeats.
Afrobeats.
Afrobeats, yeah. I love Afrobeats mostly when I'm starting, and then I can go pick later on with other songs, mostly African.
I
Again.
mean, awesome, awesome. Which basketball movie best represents your personality? Coach Carter, Hustle, or Space Jam?
That would definitely be Coach Carter.
Definitely Coach Carter.
The discipline, yeah, the discipline and in the system. I love working with systems, so that means, yeah, improving and building on systems. So that means
Indeed.
that Coach Carter will be that, yeah.
Will carry the day. Indeed, that's one of the movies that never gets old. I mean, you can watch it and rewatch it, and you still pick something from it.
Yeah, I'm very
Um,
sure.
we usually wrap it up with one thing, and if you had a chance to sit with the number one, and he would ask you like, Kelvin, I need your help to help me improve sports under the sports ministry. What will you share with him in regards to data?
I think I'll share with him how other African uh, countries are growing. I also show him the impact of data in terms of global platforms and how that is building sports in other countries. And now I'll let him also see the returns that are there in terms of sports, how the sports is $1 billion industry. And now I'll bring him in terms of the local context and how the sports in the local context is struggling, for lack of a better word, and how you can be able to improve it and make ourselves competitive. I'll show him an example of maybe Rwanda and how much they're investing into sports and how they're really growing within a very short period, and how that improvement is contributing to their economy. And then, I'll request him to invest in these sports
Yeah.
as the way they're investing in other industries.
And indeed, that's so true. When you mentioned Rwanda, Rwanda is one of the countries that their brand Visit Rwanda in the last like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
Look at the teams in the finals, football. There's always a team with Visit Rwanda. Always. PSG won
always.
the. Look at even the game yesterday. PSG was still there. Visit Rwanda.
Yes,
Arsenal has been
yeah,
a top team in the regular season.
yeah.
As we wrap it up, Koros, we appreciate you for all that you're doing under the corporate sector of data analytics and your passion and interest, even to champion sports development through data analytics and your expertise. One word as we wrap it up to a 17-year-old you, what will you do different?
In terms of sports or in terms of,
Anything you wish to share. It's an open question.
I think I'll just tell myself to be more confident and believe in whatever I have. And then, just go in there in terms of the sports analytics and invest in it. 5 years in sports analytics can take you can move you. Will have improved this country by far. Will have moved this country by far. Will have moved this region by far. You will have created a lot of scalable and other awesome applications and models. So my 70 self I will have believed in myself more than I did at that time.
Indeed, viewers, that's how we wrap it up. Believe in yourself more because a lot lies in you. And indeed, Koros, I remember your warrior mentality, still pursuing it and pushing on strong. Viewers, was great having you. And this is your host here, Germaine. Let's continue the conversation about data and its impact on sports development on the comment section. And more shall be coming your way, viewers. Until next time, it's your host signing out. Germaine.